So this is a really large lot of pirates that I just got in. I'm very excited to see what all is in here because the eBay pictures did not have everything pictured. Like, there was just so much stuff that he wasn't able to put it in all the pictures. So the main thing that caught my eye was the main photo, which included a Bouchon. So that would be my second tin mast. See, but I'm also worried about the way this was packed, just because I hear some stuff rattling, and it's very heavy, so it seems like it's packed really tight. So hopefully nothing got damaged in shipping. Especially that Bouchon. But we'll see what all else is in there. Because apart from Ocean's Edge, I don't really have much of the other pirate waves. So this had a ton of stuff from a lot of the first several waves. So I'm excited to see what we've got here. Ooh, this is already pretty promising. I see some Davy Jones Curse. I see some South China Seas. Looks like crew and treasure cards. I see some more Davy Jones Curse and some unlimited Spanish Main. I also see some tins, which I didn't even see in the listing. Wow, that's really cool. Oh my gosh. That's wild. So these should be all Jade Rebellion ships. We'll check that once I get them out. And this tin is awesome. I was actually just watching an auction the other day that has this tin in it, so I guess I don't need that anymore. Well, this one's a little dinged up, but not too bad. That's still a really cool looking item there. And then this one looks like it also got dinged up. Maybe I can fix that. But it looks like we have some islands and some more various ships, so I'll have to sort through all this and see what, what did I actually get. But it looks like a ton of great stuff. Looks like we lost a gold piece there. This is some more ships. Alright, so a ton of different waves in here. This is going to take forever to sort, but that's awesome. There's so much stuff in here. Oh my gosh. I mean, this is completely packed. I think this thing was like 15 pounds, basically. Okay. Oh. Okay, I was going to say, I thought it was unpunched, and it is, but he repunched it, but that's amazing, so it's not going to, or it didn't get damaged in shipping by the looks of it. That's really cool. Awesome. Got lucky there. And then we've got some checklists, some rules. Probably a bunch of that stuff is down here. The Booty Finder. I think this is Gale Force 9. Yeah, I don't even know like where you would get these, but that's pretty fun. It's got the measurements on there. Got some more South China Seas. Some more rules. And then, what is this one here? Whoa, wait a minute. That's the Silver Treasure promo. Oh my gosh. And then this is another promo, La Resolución. 4-mast. That's insane. This lot is incredible. I cannot wait to, like, sort all this. Alright, so I see something else interesting. I see the super rares, which if the pictures were correct, should be the Davy Jones Curse ones. Get this out of the way. Just completely stacked. And I think these are all unpunched. Oh my gosh. Just to confirm. Yep. Davy Jones Curse Super Rares. Alright, I'm going to see what all is in this lot, but we're off to a really good start. Just realized I didn't even show what's in these two that were also packaged in there. I don't even know how to open this. it's just completely stuffed with more cards. That's crazy. This is like, I mean, I don't even know how many ships are in here, but this is gonna be crazy. What is this? This is Gale Force 9 by the looks of it. Oh my gosh, these are the explored tokens. This guy had all the accessories too. This is crazy. Gotta get all these out of here. So we've got Old Fort, Home Port, explored tokens for player 1 and player 2. Got these, I don't know what these are, Pieces 08. That's awesome. And then this one's also just stuffed with more cards. So it looks like some of these are the first print of Davy Jones' Curse, where they've got the bad issue with like scraping off of the print, but that's very standard. That's a known thing. So alright, let me try and organize these maybe a little bit. Looks like that one's damaged. Maybe some of these are repunched, but it doesn't really bother me. I think that's a common, yeah, Black Mongoose. I know I already have that one, so that's fine. We'll take a look at all the other stuff in here. So here is the sorted collection, and these 3 binders are all my non-Pirates of the Caribbean cards, and then everything back here were things that are extras or duplicates from that lot. The only thing that's not sorted into the binders is the Crimson Coast stuff, because I have another Crimson Coast lot coming, so I'll worry about that later. But we will go through the binders here and just take a look at what I've got. And this collection was really just insane. I had a little bit of Spanish Main before this, and then obviously some of the Ocean's Edge that I had opened, but that was basically it for non-Pirates of the Caribbean sets. So this was an incredible like start to the collection. To me, I think it was close to like 60% of all the game cards, like unique game cards in the game, from all the waves. So just to give you a sense of how much it was, I think it was upwards of 800 unique game cards. And I'll try to point out some of the highlights. So right off the bat here, it had these promo cards. So we've got the Snipe. We've got one of these silver coin cards, which I had never seen before. Or I had seen it online, but I had never had one before. And then this silver coin card is still in the packaging. And then this promo La Resolucion. So that's really cool. But yeah, looking through Spanish Main, I mean, obviously we've got a bunch of these rares in here. So we've got the Revenant. That's new. Anything that's not punched yet is going to be new to me. Like I said, I had some of these before. But there's a good amount of new stuff in here as well. And then here's where I'll put Crimson Coast. I'm putting these in set order, so once I get that in, I'll slot that in here. And then Revolution. So again, pretty much all of this was new to me. I'd opened 2 Revolution packs, and that was it. So everything else in here, like the United States. There was a Constitution, but unfortunately it was missing one of the hull pieces, so I wasn't able to complete that one, which kind of sucks. But given everything else that's in here, I really cannot complain. Got a bunch of rare treasure. And then definitely the highlight for Revolution was these 4 promo ships. So these ones are relatively expensive for a single ship. It does have Concord and Franklin as well. Apparently Franklin's the best one. Again, I'm not familiar with these sets yet, but I will get familiarized with them and definitely try out a bunch of this new stuff. So here's the second binder. This one's entirely full, and we're continuing in set order. So we've got Barbary Coast here. There was a good portion of Barbary Coast, and one thing that was interesting that I noticed was this one right here is the same design that the Kerbeck used, or vice versa, I guess, since Kerbeck came later. So I think a lot of these arts are like reused in the pirate set, Pirates of the Caribbean, and they just like color shifted them. I think it has like a more purple tint. So that's probably the case for, I think that one looks familiar, but I can't remember exactly. So I wonder if that's the case for other like ships and other waves. It could be. I just haven't really looked very close. But yeah, I mean, there was a good selection of stuff in here. Maybe I need to back up a little bit. A bunch of rare treasure. This set didn't really have anything crazy, as far as I could tell, at least, you know, value-wise, I don't know. And then, obviously, the most expensive wave is South China Seas, and there was a ton of this. It looked like an entire booster box worth. So there was all 5 of the 6-mast junks, which is really cool. They were already punched, and a lot of this set was. A lot of the cards in here were punched and then recarded, which is super nice of the seller to take the time to do that so that stuff didn't get broken in transit. So I went ahead and built these, and they look amazing, along with the Baochuan. Had to go grab those real quick because they really just look so good. So here's all 5, and then there's the Baochuan, obviously dwarfing the rest. It just looks so good there. We've also got a ton of the common junks, which are also hard to find. We got some of the rare turtle ships. And then we've got the 5-masts. We've got things like Katsura-chan, which is a really expensive one. Great art on that, too. I really like the theming of this set here. It's just so nice. So I'm excited to try out a bunch of these. HMS Lord Kettering. La Voz de Dios. Voice of God, that's really cool. More rare crew. And then, of course, the, La Gaule. And then, let's see. Bunch of the rare treasure, which is great. And then some more over here. And then, of course, all the Jade Rebellion crew, which are definitely some of the hardest things to find because they only came in this set, so generic crew for that are hard to come by. So plenty of those in here. Right now I'm just keeping one of every set. I haven't decided if I want to keep any of the extras of the crew yet, but I'll decide that later. So then we have Davy Jones' Curse. This was the other one that seemed to have like a full booster box, if not more, in here. So we've got pretty much all the rare sea creatures right at the front of the set. We don't have the Flying Dutchman. A little bit sad, but I can go get that on my own. Let's see what else we've got. We do have Davy Jones. We've got some more rare ships. I do have the crew facing down just so that I can follow the numbering. Just as I'm entering these in, it's way easier to see. So we've got the Harbinger. So that's one of the 5 masts in this wave. We've got the HMS Gargantuan, another 5-mast. I don't know what in this wave is like particularly expensive or rare. Probably the 5-masts. So El Cristal del Obispo. That's another one. La Charlemagne. And then, let's see, Black Watch, another 5-mast. Yeah, there's a lot of 5-masts in this wave. Pretty much all of the rare treasures. Tons of those there. That's really cool. And then what was amazing about this set was the very end of it. Obviously, there's already been a ton of good stuff, but right at the end we have the super rare pack. So we've got the Behemoth, the Mistwalker, Screaming Mimi, and the Treasure. And then we've also got some of the promo ships like Fool's Gold, Nightmare, Boneyard, and then Electric Eel. And then on this side we have the Drowned Man. And then what was crazy was it's got all of these limited edition tournament ships, and there was actually 11 of them in here out of the 18 total. So I'd never seen these before. I wasn't sure what they were. I asked in the Discord. They said that they were really rare, so I started looking around, and they really are. I mean, what I was seeing was that most of these are between $30 and $40 each, and then I think one of them was like 110 or more. So whoever had this lot was fully bought in, because apparently these are like tournament promotional cards. So he must have been going to a lot of organized play events, which is really cool. Here is Mysterious Islands. So this one again, we have some of the submarines right at the front. Only a couple of those, which is one of the unique items from this wave. So it would be cool to get some more submarines. But we've got the Russian Crown, some more rares, rare crew, a bunch of common ships. Not as much of this wave. I feel like I have probably about the same amount of this wave as I do for Barbary Coast. So like a good selection, but not a ton.
And then Frozen North, there was just this handful of cards. Not much going on there. Ocean's Edge is one of the last ones in here. This one I do have a good portion of. And obviously I've shown some pack openings of that on this channel already. But there's a lot of good stuff in here. A lot of the rares, like the Proud Tortoise, Queen of Cups, HMS Victoria, El Acorazado, HMS Snipe. This is a fun wave. I know that it's relatively easy to acquire, but that doesn't make it bad. And nothing too notable here. And then at the end we had Rise of the Fiends, which I'm not a big fan of this wave. And then Fire and Steel, also not a big fan of that wave, so there was just a couple of cards. But these were actually from a different lot, so they weren't in the lot that I just sorted. The lot that I just sorted ended with Ocean's Edge. So that was all the unique cards. Obviously I put all those in my binders because I plan to play with them. But everything back here are duplicates. So these are things, I might keep some of the extra generic crew, but I'm definitely not interested in keeping duplicate ships. But we've got a large stack of Spanish Main. Like I said, the Crimson Coast will be sorted later. The Revolution stuff, good chunk of that. A little bit of Barbary Coast and quite a bit of South China Seas. So this is all unpunched. This was previously punched and then recarded. So there's some crew in there which are hard to come by, but nothing too crazy in the South China Seas since I really got all the good stuff basically. And then we've got Davy Jones Curse, and again there's a ton of that. This is the punch stuff from that as well. There was also these two Flying Dutchman promos from Pirates of the Caribbean, and that was it for Pirates of the Caribbean wave, which is fine. I already have that whole wave, so I didn't need anything from that. But yeah, I was super lucky to find this lot. Obviously a lot of it's going to get used. This stuff I'll probably sell or trade, just to, you know, get some of the, fill out some of the other holes in the collection now, but that really jump-started my collection. Like I said, I think I've got probably 60% of all the unique cards in the game now, and I do know that it was over 800 unique cards. I think it's about 830, so really just crazy. Amazing find. Could not believe it. Didn't believe it was real until it was in my hands and I was opening it just a minute ago. So thanks for watching.